time to talk that shit.
It's We Believe Green, baby.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Sean786. Welcome back to another TTS special, TTMS special, guys. Let me get this camera right. What's it bent for? There we go. What is going on, my brothers and sisters out there? Welcome to another special TTMS. Normally, I try to do this on a Wednesday, but recently, you know, it's let me get this lighting right. It's a bit out. There we go. This week I'm on some dog shit shift, so it is what it is. But guys, listen. We got some good shit to talk about. Some really good shit to talk about. Talk about pony tiers. Let's talk about these pony tiers. It started with Game Pass. It's crazy. Once everybody were talking about Game Pass a few years ago, Game Pass ain't shit. Game Pass is a never was. We heard all of them excuses. People are just getting the Game Pass for $1, converting the Xbox Live Gold for $1. But after that, Game Pass ain't gonna do shit. People will unsub from Game Pass, and that's what we want to talk about today, guys. Just 1 second, let me get this lighting right. Is that better? I just feel like it's got some shade. I think that's alright. Yo, what's going on, my brothers and that? Yo, Pentiment, what's going on? Doom Reaper, the Forgotten One. Scratch Acid, Toolman55, what is good, man? Why so serious? Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's early for you guys in the morning. Some people it's evening. Joe Schmo, talk that motherfucking shit. 100% play. 100% play. Let me move this shit over here. I think something's blocking the light. Something is blocking the light play. I don't know if it's dirt or not. Dirt's blocking my light. Yo, Dirt. Why are you fucking up my light for? Play. Dirt Gritty, what's going on, play? Talking of Dirt Gritty. Look, there's a bit of a shade coming here. Can you see it? I think Dirt Gritty. Look, Dirt just entered the chat, and all of a sudden there's a shade. And I don't like the shade play. What the hell is going on with this lighting play? What's going on? Yeah, One Trick Pony, The Collector, Shizno, Rere, Chargasm. What is good, my G's? I hope you guys are well. How's the audio sounding, guys? Is my audio does it sound good? Hey, Rere, there's no need for that play. Come on, man. Listen. When it comes, Iman 2537 goes, Dirt is like an eclipse. Talk that shit play. Fonz Hudgens, what's going on? Super duper, man. What is good, man? Tony Brown, what's good, my G? You said the audio sounding good. Good stuff. Listen, guys. Hit that like button. Share this out. And let the good people know that we're going to be talking that shit. You know that. You know how we roll. This is TTMS. Talk that motherfucking shit play. And I love this shit play. Now, 1 second, guys. The lighting's a bit off today. I don't know what it is. It is what it is, guys. Listen. Let's talk about... There's a couple of things I'll talk about Game Pass first. You know, shortly I'll talk about Game Pass. Then we'll talk about some of these ponies, the way they're capping. Where some like big PlayStation podcasters are upset. They sound depressed. A lot of these PlayStation dudes are sounding depressed. And I'm talking about the high level ponies. Guys from Sacred Symbols. There's a couple of clips, I'll play them in a bit. After we talk about Game Pass and what they're making with 2.9 billion. Yo, they sound defeated. Doom Reaper, talk that shit play. Hector the Macho Man, what's going on, Killer? Yo, these dudes sound defeated. I'm telling you right now, guys. And these are the high tier opponents. These are the ultimate, you know, the mob bosses and that, the godfathers of ponies, the horse fathers. These are the type of ponies I'm talking about. They're upset, disappointed. The Dark Knight, what's going on, Killer? What's going on? Talk that shit play. Now, you know, guys, this time I did not forget. I've got the pony tiers here. The pony tears are here right now. Take a look at these pony tears. Each time we see these ponies cry, every time we see these ponies cry, we take a sip of that. Pony tears and that. Limited edition. But recently, there's so much pony tears right now, it's not even limited edition anymore. You can get that shit for fun now. Before, last generation, it was difficult to get these pony tears. Now, I'm getting it for fun. All day, every day. 4Q, what's going on, killer? Tally up, what's good? The unicorns are talking that shit. 100%. Now, guys, listen. Let me pull up my screen first of all. Bavary90, what's going on, my G? Hope you well. Now, I'm going to share my screen, guys. Where's this shit? And this is about Game Pass. We talked about this yesterday on WEG, but we're going to continue talking that shit. Where is it? There we go. Now, guys, can you see this shit? Look at that shit, guys. Let me sort my phone out 1 second. Paul AFC, what's going on, killer? I hope you well. Now, when it comes to this Activision deal, we've seen a lot of information coming out regarding what's going on with the deal. What does Xbox do in the gaming space, PlayStation, even Nintendo and other people as well. And some information came out regarding Game Pass. I'm talking about what does it generate. And I know this is in revenue and that, but listen, we'll just talk that shit. They talked about Game Pass generates 2.9 billion each year as of right now. Last year it generated 2.9 billion. Yo, guys, listen, that's 2.9 billion. Not million, billion. Just off Game Pass alone. That's crazy, guys. And this is just the beginning. Now let me let me zoom into these charts and that. Now, if you take a look at this, guys, very, very carefully, I know they talked about multiple game subscription services for consoles, and one of the things that people have been breaking down when it comes to this CADE stuff is that Microsoft, where is it? Gamepad, there it is, guys. I hope you guys can see it on the screen. I hope it's zoomed up. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm looking on the phone. Mr. Kimo, what's going on, my G? Yeah, and that's, Mr. Kimo, you're 100% right. I'm just going to get to that point. Apparently, this is just for the console space only. And tally up that Activision stocks is worth more than Sony stock. It's crazy, bro, innit? I believe Sony's in the 60s as of right now. Now, just alone, guys. Just alone. Look at it. You guys can look at this chart here. In the green, you can see the light green. The Xbox, let's call it the Xbox color, because the other one's like a turquoise green. Game Pass alone generated 2.9 billion. That's just alone. And if this is correct, and this is just the console space, that's fucking amazing. That is amazing. And when it comes to the other stuff, you can see like 9.6 billion when it comes to the game DLC, you name it, all of that shit. But Game Pass alone, $2.9 billion. This is just the beginning. And people, how many times did we hear about Game Pass? Ain't shit. Everybody's got a $1 deal. That's not bad for a $1 deal, ain't it? If everybody got Game Pass for $1 and there's 2.9 billion in profit, that's a lot of people subscribe to Game Pass, player. But they don't want to believe it. They believe everybody does them type of deals. Nah, player. Not everybody does that stuff. They might have done it at the start. When people don't know these kind of tricks and phrases. Like, a lot of people use the reward points. Yeah, Polo FC. So it's supposed to mean if it's $1, that's what I was just going to get to as well. If they talk about it's $1, everybody got it for $1. Game Pass Ultimate for $1. That's 2.9 billion subs. Is that what these motherfuckers are saying? These unicornies? These unicornies can't count, first of all. They missed a math class. They never went to the session. And they're talking about $1. That's 2.9 billion subscribers if these guys are claiming. And for some reason, These motherfuckers actually believe they got better information. They have the inside knowledge more than Phil Spencer and Sarti Nadella. That's the type of shit we're talking about right now, guys. They're trying to prove this, and this Phil Spencer is a liar. Sarti Nadella is full of shit. These unicorns are next level. I'm telling you right now, I've never ever seen these dudes go to. I knew they had levels. We know what kind of levels these ponies do, these unicorns right now. They ascended from ponies, they were on a different level, but these guys have taken it to a different height. Beyond. These guys are unicorns right now. And looking at this guys here, Game Pass alone, Xbox Game Pass generates 2.9 billion in revenue from the subscription each year. And over time, guys, let's be real. That's a good number right now. That is solid, even if there's a lot of people who got the $1 deal. Slowly, obviously, going to be paying the full $15 per month. And in the next couple of months, coming months, maybe the next month or two, family plan is coming. That family plan will take it to a different level. It's going to get more people to obviously up to the tier, up the tier to $15 to $25. That's what we believe it's going to be. That's $25 from per person then. And obviously, if it's a lot of people, including myself, I've got 2 kids, nieces that come to my house, play games. You guys in the chat, you some of you guys are young, some of you guys are older than me. You got a couple of kids as well. And if some of your kids play gaming, they play certain games only, you'll move to the family plan. And that's what's going to happen per household. Between some boys who are in the younger generation, if you're in your 20s and that, you might split it between your friends in the same country. Smitty Smith, what's going on, my G? X coin, talk that shit. You might split it with your boys because obviously that's what it is. It's different. Once you're married, when you got your own house, it's a different ball game. But when you're out there chilling with your boys and all that bullshit, you split the cost. And that's between 5 people. If that does launch this year or maybe early next year, R&B, what's going on, my WBG brother? Hope you well, play. 9 Lives 210, what's good? Colin is still crying about Starfield. Listen, 9 Lives, I got the clip for that shit. We're going to talk about that guy. Look how they sounded defeated. But we'll get to that, bro. Let's talk. Them guys are. Listen. You talk about these unicorns on Twitter defeated. These guys are the high tier bosses. These are the big podcasters. And these dudes sound defeated. They hate it when Phil Spencer says some shit. When they talked about that website, what it says on that website regarding the ABK deal. But we'll get to that. But getting back to Game Pass, guys, $25 for the family plan. That's going to increase. And the more Xbox Game Pass becomes available to people, if it's from the console, PC, TV, the Samsung TV app. We've seen what was on Phil's shelf as well, that Xbox, I don't want to call it a Fire Stick, call it like a box or something. Let's call it a box, Xbox TV streaming box or something. Let's call it that. Now, that's coming as well. That's going to give more access to people who might not can't afford a console, might not even want a console. They might not have the latest TVs that comes with the Game Pass app. This is what I'm talking about. If that is $100 with a controller, that's big. That is big and that. But let's see how it plays out. But guys, Xbox Game Pass. Who would have known that it was making money? It's doing really well right now. Who would have known that? I'm pretty sure us guys knew. Even though Phil Spencer said in 2020 or 2021, Game Pass is sustainable. They might not be making the most money out of Game Pass, but that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of every service. Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon. You got to invest heavily. And in the top end, the long run, that's how you gain your money back. If you're not investing... Listen, guys, let's keep it real. If Xbox was not investing into the games, studios, I'm getting second and third party deals into Game Pass. Let's say A Plague's Tale wasn't coming, Scorn wasn't coming, MLB The Show, Majority of these games, Arc 2, which we'll talk about, High and Life, all of the big bangers coming out next year from Starfield. I imagine none of them games will come into a service. Would you still be subscribed to Game Pass? I'm sure many won't because they'll say, listen, there's not enough good content coming into Game Pass. Not enough new games coming into Game Pass. It's old games only. It's pointless. Many of us won't be subscribed to that shit. But they know exactly. We've seen the investment. We've seen what games are coming in right now. This week is Scorn. Next week is A Plague's Tale, Persona 5, and many more games. Well, according to R&B, AC Oranges. That POS called it that Oranges. But get back to that. Game Pass, they know they're going to invest into, and that's why you've seen the big acquisition from the Activision. They know exactly, even though that's more to do with the mobile side of King Division, it's a benefit, it's a bonus because we're getting the console stuff as well. And once they drop all of them Call of Duty, Diablo 4, and all the future games as well, that makes it more appealing. And when people see that for the price of $15, or if you have got a family, and or if you got some good friends on the internet who you rock out with most days on the Xbox party chat, split it 5 ways, $5 to $6 each per month. That's what's gonna happen. And once you see that content dropping day in day, and even more content that when the casual looks at it, they can't deny it. As hardcore guys, we're always gonna be that day one supporting the brand, and this is our favorite platform, our brand. But when people see and they go, oh, look at that for $15, for $10, yo, that's a steal. That's a steal. Getting games like Call of Duty, the Motorsports, the Starfields, all of the other future games as well, Hellblade 2, you name it. If Ubisoft, listen guys, we keep forgetting about this as well. EA Access is part of Game Pass Ultimate, and that gives you a 10-hour trial to try FIFA. The new Need for Speed's coming out. I'm pretty sure they'll give you a small trial for Dead Space maybe. I'm not sure how long will it be. They might give you a 2 to 4 hour trial on Dead Space. That's a bonus. And you get the other games that after 6 months to a year, they drop them games into EA Access, which is part of what? Game Pass Ultimate. Now, I know Pentamon's talking about Ubisoft Plus. If that comes, some sort of Ubisoft Plus service, that's a big deal. That makes Game Pass Ultimate more enticing. More people will want that shit. And that's what I'm talking about. What's this shit here? Now this is a growth as well. We've seen the growth on that, and it still seems it's in the 25 million mark so far, which I won't be surprised if it's like 26, 27 million or 28, because what's been happening, they not drop no major first party games. Raiden Blade with a £2 just arrived. Let's talk that motherfucking shit. Hit the likes button, people. Shout out to you, my homie. Hope you well. Shane Waters, good, my G. Now let me stop sharing my screen for a second, guys. There we go. Here we go. Oh shit, there it is. The awesome Justin March with a 10. Shout out to you, my brother, man. Hope you well. Shout out to the awesome Justin March. Now that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna see content dropping, improving, getting better when it comes to Game Pass. And that's what's gonna happen. Straight up. There's no denying that. If anybody denies that, they're full of shit. Straight up. They are full of fucking shit. We know this. Game Pass, man, listen. 2.9 billion. What's gonna happen next year? What's gonna happen the year after? And this is a $1 trillion company. They know exactly what they're doing. Even if they're not making the most profit, even say if they're breaking even, let's keep it like that. Let's say they're even breaking even for now. What's gonna happen in the next 3 to 6 years, or 5 years, or maybe next year? What's gonna happen? It's just gonna get better and better. Super duper, man. Immortal Phoenix Rising is a great game. Honestly, that's one of the best Ubisoft games that's come in the past 2 years or so. A great game, guys. Check it out. I've been playing AC Origins. So that's a great game, and I finished that. I'm on the last DLC or something. That's a great game, and that's in Game Pass. I got a season pass for that. What's going on, Aussie? I hope you well. UK lad, what's good, my G? Hope you well. But 2.9 billion, guys. Now, guys, listen to me. I want to show you something. Where's this clip? Let me find this clip where these dudes sound defeated. Honestly, I've never seen a bunch of dudes sound so defeated. Alright, I'm going to pull this up, guys. And I know some of you guys are talking about Colin Moriarty as well. This is the podcast, Sacred Symbols. I'm going to pull a shout out to my brother. No, this is that Nicola dude, but my brother posts out this shit. Let me share my screen. Only on Xbox, what's going on, my G? Hope you well. Yeah, your 9 lives. 100% they're hating. Do you know why they're hating? Before I pull this clip up and see these guys cry like bitches. Do you know why they're hating for? It's because these guys actually believed that Game Pass ain't shit. It never was. They want to be proven right. And that's what happened. What's happening right now? They're getting proven wrong, and they don't like that. They'll keep moving the goalposts. I talked about this yesterday in WBG. I said that these dudes, the way they're moving the goalpost, is incredible. I actually believe, even though these dudes have run out of field, run out of the road, these dudes somehow managed to move the goalpost somewhere else. They managed to do it, these guys, and they'll continue to do that shit as well. Yeah, Pentiment, I put like 160 plus hours into Odyssey as well. But with Origins, you know, I got that season pass, so it boosted me up quick. Talk that shit, people. Now I'm gonna share this clip, guys, and these are the ponies. These guys sound defeated. Honestly, yeah. Listen to this. I'm gonna get the pony tears out for this. I'm gonna have a sip on the pony tears, because listen to these clips, guys, and these dudes are hurt. Rain G4, what's going on, my G? Hope you well. Pony tears, this is for Sacred Symbols, the soft motherfuckers. Here we go, guys. Listen to this shit. Oh, shit.
I think that the part that continues to be entertaining to me about this whole process, obviously we see Sony be totally hypocritical about exclusives, right? This website, this propaganda website from Microsoft about this acquisition is absolutely hilarious. And I highly recommend people check it out. Just because our vision for gaming, more choice and more games for people everywhere. Like it has this weird feeling of, hey, us spending all this money in order to make money off you is a good thing. This is good for everybody. And I love this quote here that they put on the website. And again, I'm not saying that Microsoft is exclusively making a fool of themselves. I think both companies are at this point. But this Phil Spencer quote, giving players choice on how they play their games makes gaming more accessible and leads to larger, more vibrant communities of players. Choice is equally important to developers. Developers benefit from having a diversity of distribution and business models for their games. Choice unlocks opportunities for innovation and enables the industry to grow.
Look at these dudes.
Release Starfield on PS5 then. Do it.
Look at this shit.
Do it.
Yeah.
You won't. And that's fine. Propping up quotes like this on your propaganda website makes you look like a fucking idiot.
That's why I said
Straight up.
Well, that's why I said Dustin. I think you're right. Why even say anything? It's like you don't have to defend this. It's going to go through.
I'm gonna play the next video, guys. You see this shit? Look at these punk bitches. These punk bitches are so upset, begging, why don't you put Starfield? No, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. You ain't getting shit, motherfuckers. You think we're playing this generation? This ain't the fucking PlayStation 4 generation, you pieces of shit. We ain't giving you shit. We're gonna finesse you. I don't give a fuck if Phil is finessing you guys. I don't care if he's twisting his words. Whatever makes the deal happen. More players. He's talking about us. He's not talking about you unicorns, you pieces of shit. Talking about us. Raiden Blade with the £5. I hate to see 2022 numbers of Game Pass without first party game, because in 2023 the first party games are going to land and it's going to hurt them. Facts, bro. and range E4 with the 5 as well. The point is, Microsoft is giving you choice. You don't need an Xbox to play Xbox games. They're fucking idiots. Talk that shit, player. Talk that shit. Apollo Cooper is what it is, isn't it? The difference is, these guys, what don't they understand? What don't they understand, these dudes? When Phil is talking about play games everywhere, he's talking about his own ecosystem. And in that ecosystem, he's not tied to the fucking box. I'm sure you guys understand that. You guys have been here for a minute. You understand what Phil is talking about. Why can't these guys understand this? Why can't they understand this shit? But play on the Series S, X, PC, tablet, you name it, that streaming device is coming out probably next year. A Chromebook, we've seen that Chromebook, Logic D, that handheld bullshit, Steam Deck in the future. The amount of shit, look at this shit. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next video, because the tears continue.
It reminds me of, I'll have you know, I am pro good things and quite against bad things.
Look at Colin.
Yeah.
Look
Just
at
so
him.
you know.
Look at
It's very much like nothing. It's a lot of words that don't really say anything. So you know. It's like
Let me pull this back for a second. Look at these dudes here. You got Colin here crying, look on the floor and that. He's got tears in his eyes, and this other guy's wiping his face with tears. Look at this shit. Look at these dudes. Defeated. Punk bitches. Let's continue.
it's like it's very much like nothing. It's a lot of words that don't really say anything.
I will say that I've lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer. Well, before the Activision Blizzard.
Hey, hold on. This pony tears once again, guys. Pony tears. Let me get these pony tears for a second, guys. Did this motherfucker just say, I lost all respect for Phil Spencer, even before the Activision deal? Let me pull that back once more. Let me just clean my ears.
It's a lot of words that don't really say anything.
I will say that I've lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer. Well, before the Activision Blizzard thing, I just think he's...
Before the Activision Blizzard thing. Do you hear this shit? He's lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer. Yo, these dudes were making fun of Phil Spencer. Still making fun of Phil Spencer. And he lost respect. Do you know why these motherfuckers have lost respect? Because they don't like him. And do you know why they don't like him? It's because Phil is a fucking gamer, and he convinced the motherfucking CEO and the CFO that, listen, if you want to be in it for gaming, we got to put the full step in. We got to go full out. And that's what's happened. That's what these dudes are. Well, that's what Colin and the rest of these dudes have lost respect. I'm lost for words. The Griggity with the 5. What's going on, my WBG brother and TTS? I hate these entitled ponies. Phil is talking about Xbox content being played everywhere. Not Xbox games on the dog shit PlayStation 5. That big bitch of a console. Talk that shit, player. Yo, did you hear that shit? I lost respect for Phil Spencer. You know why they lost respect for? Because the guy's making moves. And they're making Sony look like a bitch. Sony's always... Listen, guys. The Sony PlayStation has always been a bitch. It was just protected by the media. And the Xbox One generation, we kind of slipped up. We let them have it. They got lucky. But Sony PlayStation has always been a bitch. And their fan base have always been a bitch. And I'm glad they're getting to expose this generation. I lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer. The only reason why I lost respect for, because Phil's been killing it. He's changed the game, and you don't fucking like that. You were the same pieces of shit, sacred symbols, were the same pieces of shit that said Sony's gonna stick to the old ways. I love it. Traditional model. And after that, what happened? They seen Sony making different moves. And they probably blame Phil Spencer for that shit as well. They probably blame Phil Spencer because Sony wants to make more money, and it makes more business sense to put the games on different platforms besides our dog shit PlayStation 5. No shit, Raiden Blade with a 2. I'm trying to be nasty on YouTube. It keeps blocking me. Oh shit, player man. Just put some stars or some shit. I'm not sure what's going on, player. But shout out to you, homie. Let me pull this back, guys. If some of you guys are joining, this dude just said that he's lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer, and we know why. Let's continue.
Words that don't really say anything.
I will say that I've lost a lot of respect for Phil Spencer. Well, before the Activision Blizzard thing, I just think he's kind of full of shit. Just like a lot of other executives.
Yo, listen. The guy he stole my fucking line full of shit. This dude is stealing my shit. What kind of bullshit is this? I'm coming for you, Colin.
I think he walked the walk and talked the talk for a while, but I don't think he's actually walked the walk at all in the last few years. And it's weird to me to see a defense in that website. The funniest thing, and it was what the writer wrote in about, was is their claim seriously that they're doing this and then they'll still be behind Sony and Nintendo, and that's like one of the selling points? First of all, you're that far behind Sony and Nintendo that buying the biggest publisher in the world is not going to put you anywhere near them, and that's a selling point. And if that's true, then isn't the dominion of your Game Pass subscription model more limited than you are saying? I just think it's much more complicated, and unfortunately for them, they've just given us so much time to dissect it. Especially not knowing anything, and that's why I think it's so funny that these companies don't. I think Jim Ryan was saying that a few weeks ago, Crying Jim, when he was saying, like, why are we talking about this public? We were trying to talk about it privately. And it seemed like that's what should be going on. So I think Phil talks out of both sides of his mouth. He hasn't delivered anything, by the way. I mean, what has he delivered?
I'll tell you what Phil's delivered. I'll tell you what he's delivered. He's delivered pony tears. Can you see this flask right here, guys? Colin, can you see this shit? He's delivered this shit. This is the type of shit. This shit was rare. This shit was hard to get to. This is like a diamond. This shit was the real shit back in the days. It was hard to get pony tears. He's delivered this shit. And seeing you guys cry like bitches straight up is awesome. Rain G4 with a 5. Microsoft destroyed the console sales arguments with games being everywhere. Sony identified is tied to PlayStation. Is tied to PlayStation when it comes to gaming. Look at this shit, guys. Don Sicario. Phil resurrected the Xbox. Facts. Now, guys, listen. Let me stop sharing my screen. Straight up, what did I say, guys? These dudes are straight up punk bitches. That's all they are. Straight up punk bitches. I think there's another video, but I'm going to leave it there because we got the gist of this shit. We actually have the gist of this shit. Honestly, never ever seen some dumb shit in my life. No cap. Dude, these dudes have really said it. I lost respect for Phil Spencer before this Activision deal. And we know the real reason why. Dudes are hurt. They're crying. Have you ever seen the PlayStation Nation this soft? You got people blocking. Look, you got guys like Jay Body. King Crash has blocked my homie Post Up as well. We found out yesterday. Because we're calling these dudes out. Because they said some dumb shit. They've been saying the stupidest shit ever. And we've been exposing them. And they don't like it. Why? Because they're soft. Soft bitches. That's all they are. It's crazy to see that shit. Wilkinson, what's going on, my G? Listen. What Wilkinson just said there. Xbox has only had a few jabs. And the haymakers are still coming. Talk that shit, Rick, to click what's going on, my G. Now, guys, listen. Let's move on to the next shit. These dudes, let's continue. We talked about Game Pass. We talked about the higher tier ponies. Now, let's go back a bit down and let's talk about the normal ponies. Ritz with the 5, man. What's going on, what's going on, my G? What's up, Sean and TTMS family? Hit that like button. Talk that shit, Ritz. Talk that shit. Now, talking about these lower tier ponies, we started from here, Game Pass. We started with the higher tier ponies with sacred symbols and all of that bullshit. Let's take it a bit down now, guys. We'll keep it back there. Let's talk about these soft motherfucking ponies. I'm talking about let me get a super chat before I continue. Raid and Blade with the 5. Colin, you are what you claim Phil is. Phil delivered your soul. What Jim delivered was a price hike, low-rated AAA games, and 4 different PS5s in the last 2 years or so. Less than 2 years or so. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Now, guys, I'm gonna play a clip from the one and only. I'm gonna put it there for a second. I'll pull this back for a second, guys. It's Mr. Volcano Man. Look, my G. Xbox are no liars. Colin Moriarty is my dad. He's my biological dad, my G. Look, Phil Spencer's a liar. He doesn't have the numbers for the books for the Xbox Game Pass. Them numbers are inflated, my G. Look. Dumbass. Now, guys, I'm gonna play a clip. This shit is hilarious and that. Because I want you to look at this. As you can see, Game Pass has 490 games. Whatever. I can't see the screen. 1 second. 490 games, including whatever they're paying for EA or EA Access. They paid $8 million. This dude, for some reason, has the information that Phil Spencer and Satya Nadella has. Somehow, I'm not sure. He has some sort of different books or some shit. They paid $8 million for one single A game. Let's pretend that's what they paid everyone else. That's over $3 billion right there. We all know MLB the show took around about 60 million wild times. So this dude is out here claiming that every game, let's say every game costs $8 million to get into Game Pass. That's over $3 billion right now. He's trying to prove that out of that deal, them 2.9 billion Game Pass subscribers, Game Pass is losing money. This is what he's trying to do right now, guys. Look at this shit. I'm not making this shit up. Look at this shit. This guy knows every information about every deal with every developer and publisher. He knows this shit. He knows this shit more than Phil Spencer. I'm not sure where the fuck he gets his information from, but he knows this shit. He says, look, I just want to highlight, they paid $8 million for one single game. Let's pretend that they paid everyone else the same amount. So this dude is claiming that every developer gets $8 million. Let's just say that, or 10 or 15. That's how the deal is done. Now this is I think this is Phil Spencer. Take a look at this shit, guys. Listen to it.
How do you pay out developers? Like, I'm a developer, I make a game, I say I'm going to put it in Game Pass. A customer pays $14.99 a month. How do you decide how much to pay me, the developer?
Yeah, we have our deals are kind of, I'll say, all over the place. That sounds unmanaged. It's really based on the developer's need. So one of the things that's been cool to see, going to the question of do we see kind of what new things are happening, is a developer, usually a smaller to mid-sized developer, might be starting a game and say, hey, we're willing to put this in Game Pass on our launch day if you guys will give us X dollars now. And so what we can go do is we'll create a floor for them in terms of the success of their game. They know they're going to get this return. Certain cases will pay for the full production cost of the game, and then they get all the retail opportunity on top of Game Pass. So they can go sell it on PlayStation, on Steam, and on Xbox, and on Switch. So for them, what they've said, they've kind of protected themselves from any downside risk. The game is going to get made, and then they have all the retail upside. We have the opportunity for day and date. So that would be a flat fee payment to a developer. Sometimes the developer's more done with the game, and it's more just a transaction of, hey, we'll put it in Game Pass if you'll pay us this amount of money. Others want more based on usage and monetization in whether it's kind of store monetization that gets created through transactions or kind of usage. So we're open and experimenting with many different partners because we don't think we have it figured out. When we started, we had a model that was all based on usage. And most of the partners said, yeah, we understand that, but we don't believe it. So just give us the money up front.
Now, did you hear that shit, guys? Phil Spencer, Google, 100%. Phil Spencer is a smart dude, first of all. Now, you got to understand this. Every deal is different. He talked about when we started, it was all about usage, how many people and all that bullshit. But over time, as a businessman, as you see the market expanding, more people want to come, but they want different deals. What benefits other people in different ways? Some people want the full on, whatever it costs. Say a game cost me $5 million or $2 million. Your Phil pay me $2 million and some bonuses. Some people say, listen, put my game in there, whatever DLC, whatever like microtransactions or if some sort of DLC skins, all that bullshit, I'll keep the cut. If I get these type of numbers, Phil, like Chivalry 2, that game launched in Game Pass last week, over 500 people have been playing that shit since it's launched again, because that game was on, I think it was dying or the numbers were low. Every deal is different for every developer. So where the fuck did this guy get 8 million per fucking developer per game? How the fuck does he know this information? Is Jim Ryan giving this information to him? One thing I'll say, these ponies, you dumb motherfuckers, you stupid pieces of shits, don't worry about Microsoft money. Every deal is different. You heard it from the horse's mouth, but you know what's going to happen? Do you know what they're going to say? Phil is lying there. Phil is dodging the question. Phil is making shit up. I know, I've got the information. You don't have shit. You just fucking wipe your own ass, you motherfuckers. And you pretended that you could run a $1 trillion company? You pretended that, you know what, how to make something sustainable like Game Pass? Really? Is that the type of shit you want to talk about on Twitter? You got dudes going after fucking solicitors, lawyers that deal with fucking mergers and acquisitions, acquiring fucking multiple businesses or developers or mergers, all that bullshit. Really? Guys on Twitter going after people acting like they know more than these millionaires or solicitors or lawyers, CEOs, CFOs and all that bullshit. Really, dude? UK lad, what's going on, my G? These dudes are a fucking joke. Man. Listen, these are the times, I'm telling you guys right now, this is the opportunity. Whilst these ponies are down bad, saying the stupidest shit ever, trying to prove a point, trying their best to get a W, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to fucking keep kicking the shit out of these dudes. I don't care if they're on the ground. I'm going to kick them in the face. I don't care if I see them punk-ass bitches working on street corners with Jim Ryan. I said to these motherfuckers, if I see your unicorny ass on them street corners when I'm cruising around in my Rolls Royce, I'm going to throw eggs on your bitch ass. And on top of that, I'll get that big bitch of a console, PlayStation 5 faceplate, and fuck you up with them. No, that's not a joke, guys. If I see these punk bitches in town bleaching their ass, Dark Knight, 100%, bleaching their punk ass, I'm gonna fuck them up and throw eggs on them bitches. Real talk. I ain't playing. You think I'm gonna let you guys off after what you did last gen? You were loving them street corners. You motherfuckers actually believed. You unicornies actually believe you own them street corners. Nah, play. The tables have turned, darkness. This is our time now. We taken over the street. We came fucking fully loaded, equipped. We're here to take you out. I don't care if you're on your knees begging. And I don't know, you used to be being on your knees, you know, selling your bitch ass for those $70 games. I know you're used to that shit. I don't give a shit. Don't let me see you around them street corners anymore. You go back to them sewers like fucking Jim Master Splinter Ryan. I told you, Jim Ryan is a rat. He is Master Splinter. Jim Master Splinter Ryan. Make sure you go back into the sewers with him on that. Punk ass bitches. Motherfuckers. Now let's move on to the next shit, guys. Let's look at this pony shit. Let's see what's the next pony shit. I want something. No. Let's talk about pony tears. I want to continue with pony tears because I love it. Let me get the pony tears out. Guys, let's talk about Game Pass. Because I remember someone talking about... I'm going to start with this tweet. Let me zoom into this shit, guys, yeah? I want you guys to look at this, then I'm going to show you something. As you can see on screen, guys. I want you guys to look at this, but I want you to look at this where my cursor is here. You know, from S God or Snon God, whatever you call it. So, dude on top is saying, turns out Game Pass is more sustainable than making $70 one and done linear games. G Stealth, holy shit, you're on what's going on, Sean. Yeah, I'm talking that shit, play. G Stealth, I ain't playing anymore. Paul Grant, what's good? So, I'm gonna go through this tweet here, but I want you guys to understand. At the top it says, turns out Game Pass is more sustainable than making $70 one and done games. And obviously this guy named Hops, he goes, you're telling me that people would rather pay $15 a month for 300 quality games. 300 quality games than one $70 game. What a crazy world we live in. Now, guys, I want you to zoom into this shit. I'm going to zoom into this shit. Xbox zoom in. Look at this shit. This guy named S None God, whatever the fuck his name is. Punk bitch. 300 quality games? Question mark. Alright, let's turn off the fanboy goggles for just a second and be honest, laughing out loud. There's a few quality games. Totally reliable delivery service and Peppa Pig are quality to you. Now this dude is taking the piss out of Game Pass. Taking a piss. There's a few now play. There's plenty of shit, plenty of games in there, quality. Now look at this shit here, dude. This dude came here, Kuru breed and that, and he goes, what? So games like Yakuza, Persona Royal 5, Hollow Knights, Ori and the Will of the Wisp and Blind Forest, Psychonauts, Forza Motorsports, Horizons, Metal Hellsing, Outer Worlds, Doom Eternal, Noonie Cooney, Dragon Quest 11, Gears Ultimate Edition, Deathloop, A Plague's Tale is coming, Hellblade, Phoenix Rising, Quantum Break, Watch Dogs 2 aren't quality games. This dude, he replied back to that punk. Look at this shit again. All these dudes are coming after his neck. Scarlet Nexus, Master Chief, you name all of the games. Look at these games here, guys. And he talks about low quality games in Game Pass. This dude really said that shit. Look at these games here, guys. Look at you motherfucker ponies in the chat. If any of you motherfuckers are listening, hit that dislike button and take a look at the screen, you motherfuckers. You talk about quality games? Look at the quality games right now. Look at this shit. This dude disappeared. He disappeared. Now, guys, you gotta understand. I'm gonna share my screen now. While I'm talking about these quality games, the amount of games in there is crazy right now. It's crazy to see that shit. Let me stop sharing my screen, guys, because I want to show you something. Here we go. Here we go. Hit that like button. And on top of that, if you think them games are not quality, all of them games are rated, they're like 80, 90 rated games as well. What makes it even sweeter, what makes it even better is that them games, what he talks about, there's no quality games in there. Let's talk about these quality games. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Trusted Reviews Awards 2022. Let me tell you something about trusted reviews. I trust you. I believe in you. So whatever shit you saying, I trust you. Play it. See what I did there, motherfucker? You see what I did there? Doomsday, what's going on, player? Doomsday. Now, Trusted Reviews 2022 award. Best online game winner is Halo Infinite. And guys, what service is Halo Infinite in? And you know that's a free-to-play game, but what service is it in, the Halo Infinite game? Game Pass. Let's go to the next one. He talks about quality, not in Game Pass. That dumbass pony talked about quality not being in Game Pass. Let me move to the next one. Let me get a super chat before I continue. G Stealth with the $5. You're playing Horizon right now, and they say the graphics look good. I don't think so. I think he's talking about Horizon Forbidden West. I don't think so. It looks like Assassin's Creed to me. Talk that shit, play. Talk that shit. Now, trusted review once again. And this game, guys, please remind me. Please remind the good people in the chat. Forza Horizon 5, the best Xbox game winner. And he talks about, what? There's no quality games? This is a 92 rated game. Halo Infinite is an 87 rated game. This is a 92 rated game, and where is this game at, guys? It's available in a service called Gamepass. Now let's move to the next one, player. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Trusted Review had to give something to the PlayStation. They had to give something to the PlayStation. Now, guys, listen to me. Let's talk about these pony tears again. The pony tears are back out again. Because I'm going to be talking that shit. Snooky, what's going on, my G? Let me talk my shit. This is the best PlayStation game winner. Deathloop. And Deathloop, who does it belong to, guys? Who does Deathloop belong to? It's an Xbox first party game. Now, guys, listen to me very carefully. 2022. Games like Horizon Forbidden West, a PlayStation first party game that's dropped this year. A game like GT7, a PlayStation first party game dropped this year. A game like The Last of Us Re-Bleach dropped this year, a PlayStation first party game. All of them games were bangers according to these unicornies. Now look at this shit here, guys. Deathloop is an Xbox first party game. Even though they had Horizon, GT7, The Last of Us. Bro, all of that greatness to talk about, all of that bullshit they've been talking about, we like to buy our games. PlayStation, when PlayStation drops a game, the industry stops. The world stops. Really take a look at this shit. Deathloop, a first party game, is the best PlayStation game winner. Ponies must have been devastated when they seen that shit. They must have been upset when they seen a first party game. A first party game, Xbox, being the PlayStation best game. Imagine that shit. You drop Horizon, GT7 and Last of Us Re-Bleach. Imagine that. None of them games. Joey, what's going on, my G? Yeah. I've got no bitches. Imagine all of that shit and an Xbox first party game annihilates them first party PlayStation games. How does it feel? I know I'm laughing. I'm loving it. But I'm sure these PlayStation dudes, these unicornies, are upset. Really upset about this shit. What's his next picture about? Talk that shit, Phil. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Now, trusted reviews. When it comes to trusted reviews, I trust you. I believe in you, player. I believe in you, player. Talk that shit. You see this shit, guys? This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Let me see what I got next for you people. Now, let's talk about something, guys. You know, this is from my homie, Baveri90. If he in the chat, he sends me a lot of stuff. Even a Polo Cooper as well sometimes. You know, these PlayStation are begging. Out here begging. Because they know they're struggling. Really, really bad. They seen what's going on with the ABK deal as well. They're struggling. Now I'm going to pull up this tweet. Xbox zoom in. So, you know, when it comes to the MK games, it's coming up to 3 decades, 30 years right now. Meg's Mama Bear. This person's been around for a minute. This is how bad is it right now. Because they've seen the deal with the Activision deal. This person here is out here begging PlayStation SIE, please make a PlayStation exclusive MK Mortal Kombat game. Evo needs a Sony. Xbox gamers don't buy game. They just wait for it to come to Xbox Pro Pass, which is talking about Game Pass. Skip the ultra low quality Xbox platform for the biggest, most popular and powerful gaming platform. 108 Dragon, what's going on, my G? Hope you well. Will you take a look at this shit here? This is how desperate these dudes are right now. Begging. A game like Mortal Kombat's been around for a minute. A long time. I remember playing that shit on the Sega Master System. You know, one of my favorite games that was on the Sega Master System. This game's been around for a minute. Early days. And these dudes out here, they upset, devastated over the ABK deal, and they're begging PlayStation that make Mortal Kombat an exclusive to the PlayStation platform. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the type of shit I'm talking about right now, guys. These dudes will do anything. We've seen these dudes beg the senators, the FTC, the president to stop a certain deal when it comes to Xbox. Now they're going to PlayStation, going to the Mortal Kombat developers and asking them, please, Sony, make it exclusive. Don't put it on that Xbox platform. They don't deserve it. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. This shit is low. These dudes are going to they're scooping the bottom of the barrel. That's how low these dudes are right now. Yeah, they even I think this is the same person that tagged the FBI. Do you remember that shit? Why so serious? And this is what I'm talking about, guys. Honestly. Let me put some. I got some more receipts, guys. Hit that like button. What's going on, guys? We got nearly 100 people in the chat. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Hope you guys are doing well. And where's this shit, man? I found something for you guys. Now let's talk about this big bitch of a console, PlayStation 5, and why they put the price up, even though that bitch is getting stripped out. Joe Schmo, the begging player, absolutely begging. Now the brother, the homie, post up from State of Gaming. Pony tears will continue because I love this shit. I'm gonna make them motherfuckers cry like bitches. I love it. Wow, they put out a cheaper model and raised the price at the same time, and the only concern their fan base showed was how the ABK deal would allow Microsoft to raise the prices. Now, guys, I'm gonna take a look at this shit from Austin Evans. Look at this shit. Look at the size of the PlayStation 5 motherboard in 2020 when it launched. Now look at this shit in 2022. That bitch is shrunk down. We knew that big bitch of a PlayStation 5 console was over-engineered. A dog shit design. Mark Cerny ain't shit. He said he was a genius. He ain't no genius. Motherfucker wanted to borrow my ears. I told him to kiss my ass. These are my ears. You got your own ears. Borrow your own fucking ears. You don't need my ears for that bullshit. I remember that shit. Rain G4 with the 5. Colin just made Microsoft point. Buying Call of Duty will not put Xbox number one. By the way, Jim Ryan suggested. Facts, bro. But they don't want to see that shit play. Now, getting back to this shit. Apollo Kuba, I'll take a look at that message in a bit. Look at this shit, guys, here. The PlayStation 5 has shrunk down. And what did these punk bitches do? What did these motherfuckers do? Increase the price. Look at this shit here. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is for the payers, not the players. The payers. Austin Evans goes, now we finally figured out why the new PS5 1200 is better. No shit is better. Look at that bitch has been shrunk down. And what did these dudes do? Look, Sony SIE, we're seeing the stock prices. They're down to the 60s. That's where they motherfucking belong. That's where they belong. And these dudes had the nerve. In the US, they were afraid because Xbox is on their ass. I'm not posing on that bullshit. Xbox is on their ass. But when it comes to Europe, Japan, other places, what do? These soft punk ass bitches decided to put the price up because they knew the PlayStation platform, the brand, is more popular, is more powerful over on my side. So they put the price up. They did not have the balls to put the price up in the US. And you know the real reason why they didn't have the balls. People are saying, oh, it's all about the money, the dollar. Bullshit. Shut the fuck up with that bullshit. You see Xbox raising the prices? No, they're doing price cuts. They're for the fucking consumers. But getting back to the PlayStation 5, they shrunk that bitch down. Saving money. The PlayStation 5 has been revised 3 fucking times right now. Taking copper out. Changing the fans. making a smaller motherboard. And what makes it worse? What makes it worse is that these guys decided to raise the price, increase the price for the PlayStation 5, and they're making more money out of it. Instead of like, say, listen, guys, you guys have customers out there, the people who are still on the PlayStation 4, the people are still on the PlayStation 4 who wants to come to the PlayStation 5. You know, we took your input. We seen what we could do with the PlayStation 5 to make it cheaper. You guys, you can come over for $500, for $450. You know, we'll make that transition easier during these hard times, during the pandemic and some recession we might be going into as well, or recession we're in right now. Don't worry about it. We got you in that. But nope. The Jim Ryan and the team don't give a fuck about his players. Don't give a fuck about the PlayStation 4 players. Keep your bitch ass on them PlayStation 4s, because them bitches are cheap to make. And that's why Herman Hurst came out and talked about when it comes to next gen titles, next gen, there might be cross gen games. Sorry, of future titles from the PlayStation, there could be more cross generation games, case by case. He's gonna keep them games cross gen. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. These dudes had the nerve to shrink down that PlayStation 5, save money, and increase the price in countries where I'm from and other countries. Are they for the players really? Are they for the consumers? Nah. They don't give a fuck about their fan base. All they want is to take your money up. They're finessing you. They're out here finessing you ponies. That's all they want. G starts with the 5. What's going on, my G? Yo, I work for a computer company. Guess how much a copper panel costs? $30 to make more of the boards. Facts, bro. Talk that shit, play. We need more information about our G-Star. And this is the shit I'm talking about, guys. They shrunk that bitch down. And on top of that, what makes it worse? They want to continue to make more money. Continue to put the price up. Continue to sell their games at $70+ $80+. They don't give a fuck. They see what they have to do. They're surviving right now. Putting the games on PC. Talked about live service games coming day and day. And these ponies, unicornies, said that Herman Host said 1 year. That shit's coming down. I remember when these pieces of shit were saying, Windows 79, what's going on, my G? Sector, what's going on, my brother? Crazy Horse as well. I remember when these dudes said PlayStation does it right. They put the games 2 to 3 years later, double dipping. Now that bitch is down to 1 year, less than 1 year. And day and date service games are coming to PC as well. You think Nixus wants to catch up? They're gonna keep talking that shit. They're gonna keep porting them games soon as possible. From 1 year, it'll be down to 6 months. 6 months down to 3 months. And that's what's gonna happen, player. That's what's gonna happen. You guys don't want to believe it. I've been talking about this shit for about 3 to 4 years now. 4 years probably. On podcasting. Before that as well, but I wasn't podcasting then. I've been talking about this shit for a minute. And you got dudes out here still holding on for dear life. Still trying to hold on to that narrative that PlayStation does it the right way. Every narrative they built upon on PlayStation 4 is dead or dying at the moment. Some of it's dying right now. That's what's going on, player. Now let me share my screen. Now some information just come out just recently talking about Ark, the Ark survival game. So I need to look more into this, but there's some things coming out here right now. So it says that Sony paid $3.5 million to make Ark Survival Evolved in a March PS Plus game. This has been leaked as information about this. This is the first Ark they're talking about. Blitz Phantom, what's going on, my G? Now, the second part of it is Microsoft paid $2.5 million to keep it in Game Pass for the first half of this year. And $2.3 million to bring Ark 2 to the service when it launches. They talk about it. So basically the second one, guys, let me start with the first part of this. Sony paid $3.5 million to make it a PS Plus game this in March. Microsoft paid $2.5 million to keep it in Game Pass for the first half of this year, which was the end of June. Now the second one's coming out for $2.3 million to bring Ark 2 to the service when it launches via this September SEC filings. Now they talk about a $2.3 million for 3 years. 3 years of talking about play. Now let me see if I can find the shit. I know there's some. Let me share my screen. 1 second. There we go. Now I want you guys to look at this. I want you to look at this bottom part here. Can you see my cursor here? And so right here, we'll talk about from here. January 1st, 2022. And to put Ark 2 on Game Pass for 3 years upon the release. So basically, the game is for $2.3 million. And the game's going to stay on Game Pass for 3 years, guys. That's the shit I'm talking about. And PlayStation paid $3.5 million. Look at this shit here. Let me highlight this. 1 second, guys. Let me pull this shit here. Where is this shit? Let me highlight this shit here. As you can see there, guys. Talk about, you know, when people love to talk about Game Pass, how much does it cost to put a game on Game Pass? Look at this shit here. Microsoft paid $2.5 million. I'm going back to the first part again. $2.5 million to keep Ark on Game Pass. Yeah. And then Ark 2, $2.3 million to release on Game Pass and will stay in the service for 3+ years, guys. So Ark 2 for $2.3 million will stay on the service for 3 years. PlayStation alone. Let's talk about business. You know, these PlayStation, these unicorns actually believe they know numbers. They know all of this information. They run a $1 trillion company, $1 billion companies. PlayStation paid $3.5 million to make Ark Survival a PlayStation Plus title for March only. They paid $3.5 million for 1 month. Imagine that shit. $2.3 million to keep it on Game Pass for 3 years. And that's the sequel I'm talking about. These dudes, PlayStation paid $3.5 million to keep Ark Survival on making a PlayStation Plus title for March. Look at that shit. Who's got the better deal out of that, guys? Tell me now. Who's getting the better deal? And you talk about Game Pass isn't sustainable? You guys talk about that shit? Game Pass isn't sustainable? Really? Is that the type of shit we're doing right now? I wonder how they're going to cap for this. I bet you, do you know what they're going to say? It's only Ark anyway. It doesn't make a difference. It's Ark Survival. It doesn't make a difference. That's what's going to happen. That's what will happen. Straight up. Shit's crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. That's all I gotta say, man. The amount of shit that's happening. Let me see what Apollo Cooper sent me. Yeah, Apollo Cooper, I got that shit. I got that shit ready, bro. I was gonna play that shit, but I'll do the shit here right now. Shout out to the 90+ people here, man. Shout out to you guys for talking that shit with me on a Tuesday. Normally I would do this on a Wednesday, but my work shift is really shit this week. For the next 2 weeks is a bit shit. But let's talk about something, guys. You know when... Let's talk about... You know, as Xbox is getting closer when the deal is getting done. The ABK deal is getting done slowly. Phantom Kraken goes, now I understand why Sony states that it's sustainable. They are overpaid for games while Xbox knows how to negotiate. Facts, bro. And that says Sony is dumb as fuck. The Sony is dumb as these ponies. Talk that shit, play. Now, as this deal is getting closer and closer to be done, the ABK deal, these ponies are going into spaces. And honestly, some of the shit I've been seeing. Look at this shit here, guys. Pony tears again. Let me get the pony tears here. Pony tears. A world where Microsoft and Xbox win. Implications. Every day Microsoft does something. Every information that comes out with the ABK deal. for some reason, these dudes have to do some sort of spaces. Some sort of crazy spaces. A world where Microsoft and Xbox win. Implications. They have to host something that we can't let this happen. If Xbox and Microsoft wins, the gaming industry is dead. Let me have the pony tears. Love of God, what's going on, my G? Bruce, what's good, my G? Pony tears. Max the Lazy Talker, what's good? Every time this information comes out about the ABK deal, every time these dudes have to do a spaces regarding the deal, a world where Microsoft and Xbox win. Really? One before that, Xbox, something, I can't remember, Phil Spencer should be fired or some shit. You know what I'm talking about. My homie Dirk Griggity with the 5. Being only Arc makes the 3.5 million... being only Arc makes the 3.5 million deal seem worse. Sony are just as dumb as these ponies. Talk that shit, player. Facts, bro. They are... Listen, 3.5... The sequel is coming out at $2.3 million, and that's going to stay in Game Pass for 3 years. I bet you Sony wish to have some shit like Game Pass. I bet you they do have it, but I bet you they wish they could do what Xbox could do. I'm betting on that. That deal, 3.5 million for the PlayStation Plus title for 1 month only. Bro, I understand they're getting good games for the PlayStation Plus, but 3.5 million for that 1 month? Yo, it doesn't make sense, doesn't it? And then you got Xbox. We have Xbox talking about Game Pass, staying in Game Pass for $2.3 million, guys. Reggie Lee, what's going on, my G? $2.3 million to stay in Game Pass for 3 years. And these dudes out here spending $3.5 million to keep it for fucking 4 weeks. A calendar month. Imagine that shit. Sony, you keep doing this shit. Keep doing this shit. Because these PlayStation dudes don't give a fuck about that game. They won't care for that game. Really? 3.5 million for 4 weeks, where we spent 2.3 million to get it for 3 years, the sequel? Imagine that shit. What a deal on that. I need King Trash to come in here and do some maths on that. How much does it cost? 2.3 divided by 3 and that. He might say some shit like 10 or some shit, knowing him. We know what it's like. He says some stupid shit. Sorry about this, guy. Sorry about that, guys. Honestly. Yo, that cough got to me. These ponies are wilding. These ponies are wilding. I'm talking about a guy who does maths and that. Take a look at this shit, guys. Look at this shit. This is a dude I'm talking about. Some people say Game Pass is profitable, or the same that say it has the best value. Ironically, these are the same exact people who bragged about getting Game Pass until 2023 for only $3. Even shared how to do it, but they think Microsoft is making money somehow. Trying his best. Trying his best. I need some pony tears because my throat's gonna be, dry. Trying his best to downplay that shit. When Microsoft came out, when the reports came out, 2.9 billion. Dudes are trying their fucking best to take the piss out of Game Pass. People are only paying $1, $2, $3 on that. They don't like it because they've been proven wrong time after time after time. And that's what's happening right now, guys. That's what's happening right now. Now, guys, this dude is crazy. Honestly. And I believe he's one of the softest motherfuckers around as well. I honestly do believe that. Him and the rest of the punk ass bitches. Straight up. Yo, 100 people, nearly 100 people. Hit that like button, people. What is good, man? I'm going to close the show off in about 15 minutes, guys. In about 15 minutes time, I'm going to close the show off because all this news coming regarding Xbox Game Pass. Shout out to this dude here now. Let's take the piss out of this pony. I'll send something in the DM, but I'll check that out in a bit. Now let's take the piss out of this pony here. Look at this pony here, guys. You all know him as Salt King. Look what he's trying to do here. Xbox Game Pass. You know, a dog taking a shit on Xbox Game Pass. He's trying to be funny. This guy has some of the dumbest takes and some of the nastiest... Sorry, excuse me. Some of the nastiest takes on Twitter. Yeah, rangy for them pony tears are delicious, bro. My throat's getting a bit dry. It helps. These pony tears, yo, incredible in that. That's the premium water that is now, right now. Pony tears. Now he's taking the piss out of Game Pass, trying to say Xbox Game Pass is dog shit. And look how many likes he's got, 449 likes. But shout out to this dude. Shout out to this dude for talking that shit. Look at this dude here. He came back hamster slayer. Look at this shit. He got the same picture of the dog and put his punk ass face there. You ain't shit. You full of shit. The dog is taking the shit on you, player. Talk that shit, player. I love this shit. Nah, these motherfuckers, listen to me. I'm gonna go on a rant before I close it off. But listen, talk that shit, hamster. Your Xbox, my Xbox family on Twitter. Talk that shit. When these ponies are saying dumb shit, you go back and talk that shit. Straight up. Toolman knows exactly what I'm talking about. He was getting fed up. He used to watch these guys. And he goes, I just get fed up because these guys keep going on and bashing about Xbox. Talk that shit, player. I love it. Hamster Slayer, you get a fucking clap for that. You get a clap for that. Now, let me see what's going on here. Let me see. I got one or two more things before I close it, guys. Randomly, yeah, talk that shit, my G. Talk that shit. Where's this other shit I'm gonna look for? Where's this shit? Yo, anyway, I'm gonna close it out with this, and then I'll go on my rant. Now, who remembers this dude here? Who remembers Sean Layden? This is July 2021. TTS all day, every day, my G. 100%. Talk that shit. Who remembers this tweet or article or this on... it was on a podcast as well, I believe. Do you guys remember this shit? When he said that? You guys remember that shit? Former PlayStation CEO says that Xbox Game Pass is unsustainable. Wolf of Darkness remembers that shit. G-Star, the Uniponies are delusional. Talk that shit, G-Star with a 2. Talk that shit, my homie. These ponies are fucking delusional. Wolf of Darkness, talk that shit, player. You remember this shit? I remember this dude talking that shit. And I remember these PlayStation dudes, these unicorns were running with this shit. Sean Layden knows. He's been in the business. Listen, Sean Layden doesn't know shit. The only business he's been in is with Sony. That's the only shit he knows. Sony ain't Microsoft. Sony don't have the pocket like Microsoft. Of course, for PlayStation, it might not be sustainable for them punk bitches. Because they're broke. They got no money. We know this shit. That's why they're charging you guys double. Putting the prices up. PlayStation stars. Price increase on the PlayStation 5. We know that shit. Jay Vargas, what's going on, my G? Yeah, I've got to provide the receipts. I have to provide the receipts because otherwise I'm just talking, you know, out of my ass then, basically. But listen, I remember this shit now. Listen, former PlayStation CEO says that Xbox Game Pass is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. But the problem was, this dude was working for PlayStation. I mean, no, PlayStation is a broke bitch. PlayStation ain't shit. G-Style member for 5 months. Shout out to you, my brother. Like I said yesterday, $3 billion. Now here we go. Sean Layden said that shit last year. They ran with it. Media ran with it. Unicorns ran with it. Today, well, yesterday this was. Xbox Game Pass generated $2.9 billion in 2021. That article was in 2021 when he said that. Now look at this shit, guys. Take a look at this shit with your own eyes. Xbox Game Pass generated 2.9 billion in 2021. Xbox Gaming generated, the full gaming generated 16 billion in a calendar year. Let me go back to Sean Layden. Some of you guys, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is what he said. This is what he said. Now take a look at this shit. Fast forward into the future. 2.9 billion. Bro, Game Pass has made more than Bungie. What Sony acquired Bungie for. See that shit? You see that shit? You can't take it anymore. We're on different levels. There's levels to this. And you fucking unicorns think that someone like Sean Layden that working for that broadcast company, PlayStation, could do something like Game Pass? When you look at Microsoft in the top 3 richest companies in the world, Satya Nadella said, listen, punk, if it's about competition, let us have competition. When the CEO is coming out wants to fight, that's saying something. When Phil Spencer said there's no time to pause on acquisitions, acquiring studios and developers, they're here to fight. They know the future of gaming. 2.9 billion in 2021 when these dudes were saying it's unsustainable. It's not sustainable. Game Pass is losing money. It's bleeding. Game Pass is bleeding money. You guys know exactly when people used to say that shit on podcasts. Maybe still say this shit till this day on podcasts. Xbox is bleeding money. My Xbox can't keep this up. Nah, play. Xbox can. Xbox will keep this up. Do you know why? Because they're making money. They're actually making money. It's working. And it's only going to get better and better. And I can't wait for the day, play. And I can't wait for that day. Once it gets better next year, what's going to happen? What's going to happen then, guys? Crazy, bro. This shit's wild. I think I'm going to close it out, guys, right now. Bavardi 90, yeah, 100% play. 100%. Let's see this shit. There's one more thing I wanted to check out. Nah, I'll leave it there, guys. I'm going to close the show out now. Now, guys, before I go, shout out to you guys for rocking out with me. I'm going to close out in the next couple of minutes, man. You guys have been awesome. I hope you enjoyed TTMS. We're talking that shit. You guys helped me as well to make the show better. You know, I wanted to do it tomorrow, but work schedules kind of messed things up. Let's get the pony tears. Once again, pony tears. Don't feel sorry to these ponies. Because this is the last time this is the last generation, these ponies will be talking that shit. You seen how upset these guys are. You seen how upset these guys are right now. Every day they're getting depressed. We seen what happened on Sacred Symbols. I lost respect for Phil Spencer. That's what the guy said. And the only reason why he's lost respect is because Phil Spencer has proven these motherfuckers wrong. He's made Xbox a pillar. He's made Xbox made the gaming division a pillar in Microsoft. And that's why they hate the dude. That's why they don't like him. That's why they don't respect him anymore. That's why. Pony tears. All you unicorns out there, thank you for all your tears. We appreciate it. Your tears. We know it's hard to come by, but this generation has been easier to get these pony tears. So shout out to you. You keep bringing them tears, bro, because I fucking love these tears. These pony tears is amazing. That shit's finished. Now my Xbox brothers and Xbox sisters, hit that like button and you motherfucking ponies. You know what to do. Before you hit that motherfucking street corners, make sure you bleach your motherfucking ass, then twerk your ass, then put your stinky bleach fingers out and sell your bitch ass for that big bitch of a console PlayStation 5, you punk ass bitches. You think you're gonna fuck with us? I told you I'm gonna fuck you up on that. You're not on our level. You really believe you're on our level? Bitch? Every day on spaces, you're doing 8-hour spaces. You're blocking people. Your higher tier ponies are crying like bitches. Jim Ryan's out here snitching. He's a fucking rat. Let me pull that picture up of Jim Ryan. He's a fucking rat. Where's that picture? 1 second, guys. 1 second. Where's that fucking picture of Jim Ryan, the rat? Look at this shit, guys, before I go. A fucking rat. That's all he is. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. A fucking rat, guys. This is the shit I'm talking about. This guy's a rat going to fucking Belgium, Brussels. Snitching. Got Phil Harrison from fucking Google Stadia and that one fan. Snitching. Snitching. But these dudes elevated. They went to a different level. They became rats. From snitch, they became a rat. That's how bad is it for these dudes. Straight up. Let me pull this shit back. Honestly. Raiden Blade, the Rat King. Facts, bro. The Rat King. Out here. Jim crying Ryan. Pussy. That's what I'm gonna say. Freddy Fox, what's good, my G? Soft. Softest mother. I remember when Dirt used to say, obviously Dirt knows I talk that shit. I say a lot of shit and that. And when I used to say, these ponies are soft motherfuckers, Dirt. You think, Sean? Yeah, yo. What's happened there is like, yo, Sean, these dudes are really soft, bro. These dudes can't handle it. We only slapped them. We're not even giving them a fucking haymaker yet. We're jabbing the shit out of them. Once that right hand comes, once that haymaker comes, what's going to happen then? These dudes are crying so bad right now. And I love it. And I love the pony tears. I enjoy drinking them pony tears. But once next year, once the ABK deal happens, once the big title starts dropping, what's going to happen then? What's going to happen to these dudes? And let me tell you something. If any of these motherfuckers try to come back to Xbox, you can fuck off. We're going to fucking annihilate you. You're not welcome. You flip-flop to the Xbox. You flip-flop from Xbox to PlayStation or Stadia. You keep your punk ass on that side and keep crying. We ain't going to support you. We make sure that if you're going to flip, we're going to expose your punk ass. We're going to expose your punk ass. Snooky Jackson with the 2. Shout out to you, my homie. Hit that like button, guys, for the brother Sean. You pieces of shit. You ponies, you unicorns, you think you're going to flip? We're going to keep an eye on every one of you motherfuckers. And shout out to my Xbox brothers and sisters out there, because I know they'll have the receipts. You flip, we got you. We're going to expose your punk ass. Motherfuckers. You guys, be safe. Listen, guys. All I got to say. Be safe. Keep talking that shit. Every time you see a pony saying some dumb shit, slap the shit out of them. You make sure they don't step over that line. We can't be having that shit anymore. They're on the floor. They're on their knees. Practicing for them street corners. Working them street corners. You know what for? For that big bitch of a console PlayStation 5. For that PlayStation Stars. For that 3-tier PlayStation Now service. And $70 games. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. If your tool man, be ready for that shit. Any of them motherfuckers try to flip, we're gonna call them out. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm calling these ponies out. They're gonna get this work. Fake. I don't like fake. Listen, I don't like fake motherfuckers. I don't like when people do it just for the views or clicks, because it's the right thing to do. If they see like this can benefit my channel, I'm going to flip to the PlayStation. I'm going to flip back to Xbox because I get good views, subscribers. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Bosky crap gamer fucked up. He fucked up here and he knows that. And that's it. That's what happens. When you're not real, when you fake, you get exposed. People see through that bullshit. And that's what happened. Listen, I don't dislike crap game and these guys. You know, I don't like hate them or some shit. But I'm going to call them motherfuckers out. I will call them out. Some of the shit you said. Yo, this is the type of shit you said. You punk ass bitch, we got receipts on you. You flipped over to the PlayStation 5 because you thought it was the right thing to do for your viewers, subscribers, or the super chats, whatever you want to call it. What happened? That shit didn't benefit you. Because you were known as an Xbox guys. You were fighting them battles. And the reason why they know you're full of shit, even the PlayStation dudes knows you're full of shit, is because you used to bash their games. Then all of a sudden, them are great games. I never give them a chance. Because I said them games are dog shit because I did it for the Xbox fans, for my viewers. Nobody told you to do that shit. If you like that game, just say you like that fucking game. I like God of War. I like Spider-Man. I don't need to fucking lie about it to make you guys happy in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. These dudes, it's like me trying to make you happy. Yeah, I like this game. I don't like this game because it's on a PlayStation platform. If I like the game, I like the game. Straight up. I liked Horizon Zero Dawn when I played it on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I like that game. A lot of people say that game's dog shit. That's everyone's opinion. That's everybody. Not everybody likes the same game. I don't need to lie. I don't need to come out and say, yo, this game was a dog shit. But inside, I knew it was a good game. Nah, bro. If I don't like the game, I don't like the game. If I like the game, I'll say it. Doesn't matter what platform it's on. Even that dog shit Nintendo Switch. I got the Nintendo Switch. Guess what for? Super Mario Odyssey. That was a good game. Was it the best Mario game? No. Mario Galaxy 2 is the best Mario game. And Super Mario 64 Nintendo, that's the classic. But I'm saying from the Nintendo, for the last 10-15 years, Super Mario Galaxy was incredible on Nintendo Wii. And that's what I'm talking about. But guys, be safe. Keep talking that shit. I'm closing the show out. Who knows, I might do another TTMS. If these guys keep talking that shit, saying some dumb shit, I might do another TTMS. But guys, this week, Friday, TTS Xbox podcast with my homie, the host of WBG, Dirk Riggity, will be 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. UK time because of my work schedule. So this Friday, I'll see you talking that shit on TTS Xbox podcast. We out. Peace.